July 2005, Jacksonville, Florida. A retired couple in their 60s opened their door to someone they'd known for years, someone they'd helped through hard times, someone they trusted like family. 6 days later, investigators found James and Carol Sumner in a shallow grave in Georgia, bound with duct tape, still in their nightclothes. The medical examiner confirmed what detectives feared most: they had been buried alive. The woman who put them there was 23-year-old Tiffany Cole, the neighbor's daughter the Sumners had treated like their own. She'd robbed them, killed them, and spent their money on a shopping spree while their bodies lay in the dirt. You're watching True Crime Verge. If you're here for true crime stories told with respect and detail, subscribe and hit the notification bell. This is the story of trust, betrayal, and a crime that shocked Florida. James Reginald Sumner, everyone called him Reggie, was 61 years old. For years, he'd owned a pawn shop in Jacksonville, building relationships with customers who became friends. His wife Carol was 60. She'd worked in healthcare, known for her compassion and gentle nature. By 2005, the Sumners were enjoying retirement. That spring, they'd sold property they'd owned for years. The sale brought them around $60,000 in cash, some of which they kept at home. Living nearby was Tiffany Cole, the daughter of neighbors. The Sumners had known her since childhood. When Tiffany struggled with drug addiction and money problems, they helped her. They lent her money, they offered support, they treated her like family. But Tiffany wasn't grateful. She was calculating. By early July 2005, Tiffany had reconnected with the Sumners under the pretense of needing help. But she was gathering information, learning their routines, finding out about the cash in their home. Tiffany recruited 3 accomplices: her boyfriend Michael Jackson, Alan Wade, and Bruce Nixon. All men with criminal records, all desperate for money. Together, they planned to rob the Sumners. But robbery wasn't enough. To avoid witnesses, they decided to kill them. On the evening of July 8, 2005, Tiffany Cole arrived at the Sumners' home. She told them she needed help. They opened the door. It was after dark. Reggie and Carol were in their nightclothes, winding down for the evening. Within minutes, Michael Jackson and Alan Wade forced their way inside. The couple was ambushed, bound with duct tape, and forced into their own car, a beige 2004 Mazda. Bruce Nixon followed in a borrowed Lincoln Town car. The group drove north into Georgia, stopping at multiple ATMs along the way. Surveillance cameras captured Tiffany Cole withdrawing cash using the Sumners' bank cards. At 2:47 a.m. on July 9th, a camera at a Winn-Dixie in Sanderson, Florida, recorded her clearly. She wore a baseball cap, smiled at the camera, and walked away with their money. In the back seat, Reggie and Carol sat bound and terrified. Just across the Georgia state line in Charlton County, the group turned onto a remote logging road. Dense forest, no witnesses. They'd scouted the location days earlier and had already dug a grave. Reggie and Carol Sumner were forced out of the vehicle, still bound, still in their nightclothes. They were led to a shallow pit, roughly 6 feet long, 3 feet wide, 2 feet deep. According to testimony later given in court, the Sumners were forced into that grave while still alive. Duct tape covered their mouths. Their hands were bound. And then, the group began shoveling dirt over them. The medical examiner's report confirmed it. Cause of death was asphyxiation due to suffocation. Soil was found in their airways. They had struggled. They had breathed in dirt as they fought for air. They died slowly, in darkness, buried alive by someone they had tried to help. After the burial, the group returned to Jacksonville. They cleaned out the Sumners' home, taking cash, jewelry, and electronics. They sold the victim's car to a salvage yard. And then, Tiffany Cole went shopping. Over the next several days, she and Michael Jackson bought a used car, electronics, jewelry, and expensive meals. When friends asked where the money came from, Tiffany lied, said she'd gotten an inheritance or won at a casino. Meanwhile, the Sumners family was frantic. Calls went unanswered. Appointments were missed. On July 12th, they filed a missing persons report. Jacksonville detectives immediately checked the Sumners' bank accounts. They found unusual activity. Multiple ATM withdrawals in the early morning hours of July 9th, in locations far from home. They pulled surveillance footage, and there she was, Tiffany Cole, clear as day, using the Sumners' cards while they were missing. Within 48 hours, all 4 suspects were brought in for questioning. 3 stayed silent. Bruce Nixon didn't. Nixon was 35, had a family, and was visibly terrified. Under pressure from detectives, he broke. On July 15th, 2005, he agreed to cooperate in exchange for a reduced sentence. He told investigators everything: the planning, the abduction, the ATM stops, the burial. Then he drew them a map. That same day, detectives drove to the location Nixon described, a wooded area in Charlton County, Georgia, near the Okefenokee Swamp. They found the site exactly where he said it would be. Crime scene investigators began excavating. Within an hour, they uncovered the bodies of Reggie and Carol Sumner, side by side, still bound with duct tape, still in their nightclothes. The autopsy confirmed they had been buried alive. All 4 suspects were arrested and charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and robbery. But it was Tiffany Cole who investigators focused on. According to Nixon's testimony, she had masterminded the entire crime.
The courtroom heard how the couple had died, conscious, struggling, buried alive. Tiffany Cole showed no emotion throughout the trial. She never testified. She never confessed. She never showed remorse. On March 30th, 2007, the jury found her guilty on all counts. During the penalty phase, the jury recommended death by a vote of 10-2. On July 6, 2007, Judge Adrian Soud sentenced Tiffany Ann Cole to death. But the legal battle wasn't over. In 2016, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Florida's death penalty system was unconstitutional because it didn't require unanimous jury votes. Tiffany's sentence was vacated. In 2018, she was resentenced. This time, the jury vote was unanimous, 12-0 for death. On May 3, 2018, she was again sentenced to die. Today, Tiffany Ann Cole, now 43 years old, remains on Florida's death row at Lowell Correctional Institution. No execution date has been set. Reggie Sumner was 61. Carol Sumner was 60. They had grandchildren they would never see grow up. They had years stolen from them by someone who valued their money more than their lives. Tiffany Cole betrayed 2 people who treated her like family. She buried them alive. She showed no mercy, no remorse. And now, she awaits her fate on death row. This case reminds us that evil doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it wears a familiar face. What do you think? Do you believe justice was served? Should Tiffany Cole be executed, or should she spend life in prison? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss respectfully. If this story moved you, please hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dive true crime content. Share this video to honor the memory of Reggie and Carol Sumner. Thank you for watching.